cake TikToks. Is that a thing? I'm gonna look that up. Would you watch TikToks of cakes? Because I would. I'm gonna do it.
Hey guys, welcome back to Kara's Cakes. Today I'm going to be doing another Q&A video, and I posted a post on Instagram and my Facebook page asking for questions. Let's just get right into it. The first question is, have you ever had to scrape the icing or decorations on top of a cake before? I definitely scraped the icing off a cake before, but not like at its end stage. I've only ever done it like put it on, don't like it, take it right off, put it in the bowl, reuse it. So the next is a couple questions. What is your most requested flavor combo? Would you ever do cakes full time / open a store? And what is your favorite occasion to bake for? My most requested flavor is probably like vanilla or chocolate. I did a lot of cookie dough cakes at one point, and peanut butter cup drip cakes at one point. Lemon blueberry is another popular one, and I wouldn't consider working cakes full time because my job I have right now, I have healthcare benefits, and something drastic would have to change for me to quit my regular job. Like win the lottery, that's not gonna happen. Sticking with my hospital job, get my benefits, and then I will continue to do this part-time. I would never open a store. I don't think that I would make any money from it. I feel like you'd end up putting more money into it than you'd get back. So I would just like to do it part-time. What is your favorite occasion to bake for? I like doing weddings probably the most. They might be the most stressful orders, but when you see it all together at the end, that's probably the most satisfying. A lot of people I watch on YouTube, they make cakes just to make cakes for YouTube, and then they get to cut into it and show a picture of it cut into, but like I don't get to do that. I don't like to waste my ingredients, so maybe if I ended up doing YouTube full time, I would cut into my cakes and show you what they look like on the inside. It's just really hard. Obviously I can't cut into a cake that I'm gonna sell. Okay, so next question. That one took a while. What's one thing you've been doing to keep yourself busy? I don't know if they mean like overall or because of what's going on in the world right now, but if you're watching this in the future, then right now COVID-19 is kind of all over the world, and everyone's self-isolating or self-quarantining. I've been working full-time still at the hospital, and I've had to cancel my cake orders because of COVID-19, so I've been watching Netflix, baking for coworkers and my family, and cleaning around the house and organizing things that I haven't been able to organize. But mostly I've been doing a lot of nothing, which is nice for a little bit, but I found that I've definitely been a little bit lazy, so I'm gonna have to start coming up with better routines. So I've been having to plan grocery orders ahead of time because I don't want to go to the grocery store more than I have to, so I've been planning ahead our meals for the week and stuff like that, but nothing crazy, just the same as everyone else has been doing. The next question is, what would you use to make icing look like grass or fur? So if you want to make icing look like grass or fur, you can use a special piping tip, and I'm going to insert it here in the name. I don't know the name off the top of my head, and it is up there in the cupboard, but I'm not going to get up to go get it. Next question, how do you make fudgy icing? There's a couple ways you can do it. You can just make a different type of buttercream. I use American buttercream, but you can fold a chocolate ganache into your icing too. So you can make a chocolate ganache with chocolate and whipping cream, and then at the end you can fold that in and it'll be a little bit more fudgy. The next thing, what's the best way to write on a cake? You could use chocolate or buttercream to write on a cake, but if you're gonna write on a cake, you might have to smooth out your buttercream a little more by adding a little bit more whipping cream. If you added a little whipping cream, it might be a little bit easier to pipe out. And you could for sure use a piping tip too. You don't want to just use a piping bag. You can, but if you use a piping tip, it's just more clean. I'll insert the piping tip here. Okay, next question. Can you add food coloring to boiled icing? Yes, you can add food coloring to boiled icing. Boiled icing is really, really white, so you don't want to add too much food coloring. And if you do add coloring, make sure it's like the gel color and not just like the water-based food coloring that you get at like the grocery store. So like the gel food color from Wilton, it's like a thicker paste. It doesn't water down your icing or change it all. And if you put too much in, it could change the icing a little bit. So just add a little bit, and it might seem like the color isn't very vibrant, but you don't want to add too much, because with boiled icing, as soon as you add a little bit in, it does darken over time. So just put just a little drop. Boiled icing is probably one of the best icings to color because it is so white. I use like a white icing color to add into my buttercream to make it a little bit whiter, but boiled icing is definitely easier to color. I don't work with boiled icing a lot. I find it's one of those things where you have to make it that day, put it on the cake, and then eat it, because if you don't eat it right away and you keep it in your fridge to like sell to someone or give to someone a few days or the next day or something, it definitely has like a sugary consistency and it doesn't look the greatest. Like, I'm sure it still tastes great, but it almost deflates a little. So if you're gonna have boiled icing, make sure it's like a that day kind of thing. My next question is, what's the busiest time of year for cakes and cupcakes? I think the busiest time could be Christmas. The last 2 Christmases I didn't do any baking or orders, but I'm sure if I did take orders during Christmas, that would be the busy time. 2 Christmases ago, I was still living with my mom and I didn't want to take over her kitchen, so I didn't bake that year. And this Christmas past, I was in a wedding for my best friend. I didn't want to have to bake and everything. I just wanted to enjoy my time at the wedding and enjoy my weekend, so I didn't bake for this Christmas. The next Christmas, I will probably take orders. Other than Christmas, wedding season is a busy time of year. I'm not sure what's going to happen about this summer's weddings. I've already had a person cancel their order for June, like they're rescheduling for next year because of COVID-19. But hopefully if all this settles down, all my wedding orders will stay the same. And if not, I completely understand and we can reschedule for next year. So that's all the questions, guys. If you have any more questions, make sure to comment them down below, and I will definitely do another question and answer video in the future. And if you have any video ideas for next week, make sure you leave them in the comments. Like this video and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos from me. Thanks for watching. I have to take this sweater off. Breathe. Cut.